Yeah, put them. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good evening, everybody. We'll start off tonight with LHS project hearing and second preliminary determination for the hearing. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We have some guests online tonight that will be joining us. Bond counsel from Ice Miller, Jane Hurton, financial advisor from Baker Tilley, Belvia Gray, and architect with Lancer plus BB, Terry Lancer. We also have in the audience tonight with us school board counsel, Zach Anderson. So we'll go ahead and get started. So the item on the agenda that we're discussing tonight is a preliminary hearing on a proposed construction project. After a presentation by the administration and its advisors, there will be an opportunity for the public to make comments about the project. At the hearing, we will ask that each person limit their comments to the topic of the proposed project under consideration. The notice of this preliminary determination hearing was published as legally required in the Journal Press on June 30th, 2020, and the Dearborn County Register on July 2nd, 2020. The first preliminary determination hearing was held on July 13th, 2020. At this time, I will ask Mr. Gailey to explain the purpose of this hearing.
Thank you. Pursuant to Indiana Code 6-1.1-20-3.5, a school corporation must hold two public hearings and adopt a resolution to preliminary determine if to issue bonds or enter a project lease. Sorry, Mr. Moore is calling in at this time. Sorry. So the corporation must hold two public hearings and adopt a resolution to preliminary determine to issue bonds or enter a lease for a project which has a total project cost in excess of a non-controlled project. These resolutions establish the maximum financial terms for the proposed project.
Thank you, Mr. Gailey. We will now hear from Mr. Gailey about the process of determining and communicating the project to the community and the needs for the project.
Thank you. The board has previously held the preliminary determination hearings and adopted the related resolutions in October 2019 for the projects. Since that time, the design and construction team have worked on construction plans and estimated that the total cost of the high school project are estimated to be higher than originally projected. However, the overall tax increase is the same as reported in the fall of 2019. Due to this change in overall cost, the school board is required to hold these two public hearings again for the high school project and follow the related procedures. The reason for the change and the increase, as we discussed on Monday night, there was a general education study that was conducted back in 2018, but after in-depth review and investigation by the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and HVAC contractors, more specific needs like a boiler replacement, fire suppression, HVAC control updates, and auto door access in other parts of the building will be touched during the renovation, which made the increase.
Thank you, Mr. Gailey. At this time, we will now hear from Terry Lancer, our architect, about how the proposed project meets the needs as described by the superintendent.
Thank you. This is Terry Lancer with Lancer plus BB Architects. This project mainly includes renovation of the educational areas, mainly all academics in the current high school building. We have studied those academic areas of the high school and found that many of those areas are not conducive to how education would be delivered today, and most of those areas are in need of a renovation and update to those interior spaces. The proposed renovation would include almost all academic areas, including new science classrooms and laboratories, new math classrooms, new business classrooms, new art and industrial arts as part of it. We would also be making renovations to the band and choir rooms. We would also be renovating the existing language art classrooms, world language classrooms, media center, computer labs, social studies, and also other specialty areas of achievement and JAG programs. We would also be touching other parts of the infrastructure as Mr. Gailey alluded to, so we would be replacing large parts of that infrastructure, including boilers, HVAC equipment, and lighting and other areas. Most of this equipment has served its purpose well, but it is long past due to consider replacing this equipment with new energy efficient equipment that would provide savings for the school corporation for many years to come. The schedule for this project, design will proceed for probably the next 6 months, with bidding occurring early in 2021. And due to the nature of this renovation, it will last probably for almost 24 months in construction as we renovate pieces of the high school project, move students to the new renovated areas, and then renovate other areas. So it will be very much a phased completion of construction due to the fact that the building will be occupied during the entire renovation period.
Does any board members have questions for Mr. Lancer? I put up kind of part of the study and some of the points that we've talked about in the past.
Any questions? All right, thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, we will now hear from Baker Tilley Municipal Advisors LLC, our municipal advisor, about how we proceed with the proposed project will be financed, as well as the information about the effect on the typical property taxpayer. Belvia, please.
Belvia, I do have the presentation up on the screen too for board members and those to be able to see.
Okay, perfect, thank you. So good evening, everyone. Belvia Gray here with Baker Tilley. We're the school's municipal advisor on this project. We are providing an update from the October meeting here for the high school project. Slide 2 has information on the school corporation's current outstanding debt structure. And you can see right now the school will have all of its bonds repaid through 2026. Slide 3 has information on the estimated project costs and funding. And here we're comparing the project estimates as of October with the project budget as of today. You can see in here that the costs for the high school project have changed, which have necessitated this particular project hearing. There have been some slight changes with the other projects, but the legal process that was followed on those is still the same. So that's why we're just here for the high school project here tonight. You go to slide 4, one of the major things that we wanted to point out is that even though the project size is increasing, we have been able to manage the overall tax impact so that it is not changed from what was shared back in October. So back in October, we were sharing an incremental or increase over current level tax rate impact of 10.73 cents, and we are still estimating that impact at 10.73 cents. We are also able to maintain the what we call kind of a step down structure for the school to provide flexibility for future projects that may come on the horizon. The one thing that did change for the high school project is that we're estimating that the maximum tax impact is a little bit higher. But like I said, because we're structuring around existing indebtedness, we're able to keep the increase over current levels at what has been shared back in October. The last slide then just shares the tax impact on a monthly basis. And here, median home value, the difference here is that it increased by about 7,000 from what we shared back in October. So the median home value is about $139,000 now, which translates into a monthly impact of $5.20. And again, like I said, that tax impact is the same as what we shared back in October. That is all I have on the finances.
All righty.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions for Belvia? All right, thank you, Belvia. At this time, we will now open the public hearing. We ask that you state your name and limit your comments to the proposed project and financing and avoid being repetitive if possible. Nobody is in the audience to ask any questions. How about online, Mr. Gailey?
Look online. If anyone online, if you do have a question, you're welcome to type it in the live chat, and I will take a look at it. Looks like we have 5 that are watching. There are no comments at this time, or no questions.
Any questions
this
from the
time.
board at this point? All right, at this time, we would like to thank you all for who participated in the hearing, and we appreciate your time and interest in the project and the future of our community. The board will continue to work with the administration and its professionals to look for efficiencies to conserve tax dollars while meeting our educational needs. At this time, the hearing is closed. Next item on the agenda, the board consideration of the preliminary determination resolution. Can I get a motion, please? Mr. Brian Jansen, second. Mr. Bob Miller. Any questions or comments that you'd like to discuss?
Did you go? You need to have Mr. Will.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. At this time, Mr. Anderson,
Yes.
could you please summarize the preliminary determination resolution?
Yes, sir, thank you. The preliminary determination resolution is required when a school is planning to finance more than certain thresholds for a given facility. It contains the total project cost, maximum annual payment, lease term, and other financial terms such as the estimated principal amount and tax impact.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. We already have a motion on the floor with Mr. Jansen and Mr. Miller seconding. Anybody have any questions or any comments? This time I would entertain a vote. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passes 6-0. At this time, we will adjourn the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you to those online. Belvia, Jane, Terry, thank you for joining. There was no one in the audience.